Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Welcome to my review for Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger episode 33, I believe is the number. This is the debut of the Max Ryusoul Red power-up, as well as the undebut of Ryusoulger, which is very unfortunate. But this was a very, very strong episode. I like this episode a lot. I think it's probably one of my favorites of the series. Because as I said in my catch-up review, I just prefer it to Mustard. As I said in that review, I've really been enjoying Ryusoulger lately, and I think the Nada/Ryusoulger arc has been very well done. And the interplay between the characters and like getting their bond developed, I think was really well done. That's something I really noticed about this when Nada was killed, is I really did feel that Nada bonded with the team. Obviously Ko especially, but the team in general is kind of the opposite of the way I felt about the master characters at the beginning, where one of the first arcs was about them getting revenge and defeating the castle guy. And I just didn't feel that because we got so little time getting to know the masters, and I kind of talked about how I wish the masters had been around for a handful of episodes to sort of sell that. And this was kind of the opposite of that, where I really thought it had a nice impact. Nice impact! It's really unfortunate though that they had to get rid of Nada so early. I feel like this is one of those moments where I'd like to go to IGN and read an exit interview. Like, you know, sometimes when characters leave, there's like an exit interview either with the actor or the writers, and they talk about things that went into it. Like, I'd like to know some of the behind the scenes stuff of like what was the reason Nada had to go so early. I feel like it was a combination of how long they signed the actor for and the stupid toy release schedule, because Max Ryusoul Red debuts because he passes on his Ryusoulger powers to Red and they kind of merge in a way. And then, you know, that toy debuts this week, and Japan has this stupid rule where the toy has to show up on screen before they can have the toy out. So that pisses me off, and like it pisses me off if it had anything to do with it. Nada was killed by toy release schedules. Like, I definitely prefer it here where it's fine for the toy to show up before. Especially since, like, spoilers, yeah, but you've seen the scans, like, you saw the scans for these power-ups in 2012, so what's the big deal? But anyway, my annoyance of that stupid toy release schedule nonsense behind, however much, whatever factored into this, I think it would, that's probably my only complaint about this episode, or my only main complaint, is that I think Nada should have stuck around longer. I mean, he literally was freed of the Ryusoulger curse last episode, and then was killed off in this one. I think, at minimum, 2 episodes, but I would have liked at least 3 or 4 episodes with him as part of the main team. Or, like, at the end he gave that message he was going to train for a while. Like, I almost wish this would have happened earlier, and then maybe you had him for an episode after he redeemed, and then maybe he leaves for a couple episodes, you know, because they don't have the actor full-time, and then he comes back for an episode or 2, and then you do it. I just think it would have had even more impact, and to have him have been a Ryusoulger with them longer, and also just getting to see that longer. Speaking of toys, don't you want to market this? You want to see this on screen longer? Like, look, buy this in store, kids. Ryusoulger's a good guy now. So, I don't know. But I think that would have been nice just to see him be around as part of the team longer. At least a few episodes, I think, could have been better on multiple different levels. But other than that, I really liked this episode. I mean, before we get to the main meat of the episode, there's also some nice setup, because this episode introduced a new villain that the White Castle guy knew. I don't know anyone's name, just even in life. He was like a stronger general who had the ability to like basically absorb the Ryusoulgers and keep them in like a mind palace in his body, except it was a chest palace. Isn't that just boobs? And then as they tried to fight, he basically learned their abilities. So throughout the episode, he was capturing everybody. It started with Sawa and Kanalo, and then later Ko was in there, and then eventually everybody was in there and figured out what they were doing. So it was up to Nada to rescue them as they were using the powers, and it was really cool. Like, it was first him and Bamba, before Bamba got captured too, and we got to see his transformation sequence, and it was really cool. I mean, not just to see him debut with his like roll call and stuff, but like before he did, he like called out his Ryusoul or whatever. He's like, Ryusoul, it's not a Ryusoul, and like he was trying to figure out what to call it or what to say, and like he gave this look like, and it was really funny. Like, I really liked that. It's kind of a shame, like, the shallow toku side of me wanted to see a 7 Ryusoulger roll call. I don't know why we didn't get that. Another reason he should have been around more episodes. But it was up to him to save him. He saved him with a headbutt, and apparently he got injured along the way. And then afterwards, you know, when he died, he passed on his Ryusoulger powers and his soul to Ko to create the Max Ryusoul Red power-up. And I like the way that was done. There's part of me that thinks there was a cool idea behind Ko maybe trying to save him before when he had the evil armor, and, you know, them trying to save Ko then, and then Ko gaining control of it, and that's what created the power-up. But I think this is more meaningful, and like I said, I wish he would have been around longer, but it was a nice way of doing it. It made the power-up feel more meaningful, especially with the bond between the two of them, and the fact that he was also a candidate to be Red made it kind of cool as well. And the power-up is just top shelf. Like, it's amazing. Like, I talked about this before in a different video, but we got to see, like, you know, the early pictures of it that leaked where it's more like a sketch, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know, that's a cool power-up. But then we saw, like, the preview photos, and it's, like, all shiny and stuff. There was some other pictures that make it seem more of a blank red, which I don't know what happened there, but the shiny version looks good. It looks so good. It's easily one of my top power-ups of all time, like, especially with the night theme and the shiny crimson-y red of it. Not quite crimson-y, but you know what I mean. It looks really, really good. It had a really cool debut fight, some cool parts where he was, like, hanging from the ceiling and stuff, like a Michael Myers move where he was just hanging from the ceiling and drops down on him. And, like, the way it works is he can, like, summon the little mini Ryusouls to attack and use a version of their abilities, which was kind of neat as well. But that was really cool, and he wound up taking out the general guy. And in addition to taking out this general guy, they also set up that there is another general on the way here that Nada knew that is apparently pretty powerful. So I like that we're actually getting some more villains. And I like that in this episode, in addition to obviously being the big Nada Max Ryusoul Red episode, we're setting up more stuff and higher stakes and stuff like that, so I enjoyed it. Then there was a nice moment at the end where they're all kind of reminiscing, and then Ui comes up with a video that Nada had recorded because he was going to go away to train to sort of become better to join the team. So he kind of placed like a goodbye video before he left, and they got to watch that, and it was a nice moment. And then they all kind of saluted him by, you know, holding their blades up, which is a really nice moment. Really nice moment. The music was nice, and then it was ruined by the stupid ending theme popping on. That's happened a couple times in Ryusoulger where it's a really quiet or somber moment, and then they're like, da, 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 da. Just another reason I hate ending themes. Like, let me just see the preview and stop trying to waste my time. Oh, I thought this was a really strong episode. Like, my only real complaint, like I said, was I wish Nada would have been around longer for a couple reasons. But in terms of the debut, I thought it really worked for the end of Nada's character, and a really good debut for the power-up, which looks cool. And like I said, not only that, I thought it was cool that they were also setting up for some future storylines, which is neat. So I would overall, actually I'd give this episode a 9. Let's be generous, Ryusoulger had a fine hour this week. Anyway, that's about it for this one. I probably will go back to more chunk reviews where I review in chunks based on arc after this, but since I did the catch-up, I wanted to do one review based off this debut, but we'll see. Ryusoulger reviews will show up at some point. I know that there were some people that thought I quit watching the series. No, I still watch them every week. It's just, you know, wanting to make sure there's something meaty to talk about. Unfortunately, there has been lately. Anyway, that's about it for this one. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.